Many people find small talk a frustrating and shallow mode of communication, much like sign language. Although sometimes a necessary evil, small talk can be improved and moved into a more fulfilling conversation by quickly establishing yourself as an interesting and charismatic person. Now, the first thing you gotta do is realize why people use small talk in the first place. Small talk basically serves to facilitate exchange of information and build rapport between two people who are not well acquainted. A lack of comfort with your conversational partner is often what leads to dull topics, like the weather or why you dumped your girlfriend before her quinceañera. To get past this phase of conversation with another person, you typically have to trudge through boring and awkward conversation. However, if you play your cards right, you can skip all of that and get straight to your passions, like talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck building strategy. The underlying ability to skip rapport building lies in presenting yourself as someone who is trustworthy, interesting, and high value in the shortest amount of time possible. All three of these criteria are met by displaying charisma. Being interesting is the most important point here. After all, most people just want to have fun, and if you're interesting enough to get people to forget about their crippling insecurities for just a moment, then you'll automatically come across as extremely charismatic and trustworthy anyway. Just take a look at Stephen Tony Hawk Hawkins. I guarantee he doesn't ask how you're doing before he takes you home. Mostly because it would probably take him like 30 minutes. So how do you present yourself as someone who's interesting? Well, this starts before the conversation has even begun and extends into the first words with your partner. Now, firstly, you need to instantly differentiate yourself from normal people. If you watch my videos, then you should know that right now most people suffer from crippling emotional stifling. They're boring because they're too busy thinking about what you think of them and what they're going to say next to actually listen to you. Make like the Buddha, and by that I don't mean get fat. I mean stay present in the conversation and focus on your partner's words. This is going to allow you to present yourself as someone who is confident and emotionally strong. This is actually so rare that you'll pretty much instantly appear magnetic. Secondly, you need to have topics that you're actually passionate about. Things that you can talk about for hours and hours. You also need to be pretty good at your topic, probably. A combination of passion and vision will lead to what Olivia Cabane calls visionary charisma in her book, The Charisma Myth, which I highly recommend. A great example of this would be Steve Jobs, a total dickhead but still loved and objectively interesting. Personally, I recruit an air of visionary charisma by telling people that I'm going to spread my shitpost videos all around YouTube one day. So lastly, and perhaps more importantly, you need to not let yourself be defined by the type of media you consume. This is absolutely endemic in today's society, and its malignancy is evident in people's constant use of memes and references. Imitation may be the highest form of flattery, but it's the lowest form of humor. Move from a paradigm of consuming to a paradigm of producing. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you do something. Write instead of read, make videos instead of watching them, still watch mine though, and cook instead of ordering out. You get the idea. Someone who isn't defined by what they consume is the definition of unique and interesting. Alright, so you followed the above steps and now you're interesting. Congratulations. You've shown some random person your passion and inner fire. They've seen that you're not just another person who lives and dies by the meme. Now, since body language seems to be a recurring theme here, we're going to cover it again. As the saying goes, it's not what you say, but how you say it. And in this case, we're going to quickly cover some cues that establish truthfulness and make people see you as genuine. Of course, the first rule of body language is you don't talk about body language. Seriously, that's like the definition of it. The second rule of body language is that you need to make strong, unbreakable eye contact with your partner. A good rule of thumb for inciting intrigue, at least in a male-female dynamic, is to look in their eyes about 2 to 3 seconds longer than you feel is comfortable, and then quickly glance away and then back. You need to make sure you don't have shifty eyes like the fucking swiper or Bill Clinton. So don't be constantly looking around and away. In addition, you need to pay attention to where your body is pointing. And when I say pointing, I'm referring to where the bulk of your mass is pointing. And especially your chest and feet. Pro tip here, if you have an erection, then fucking own it and lead the way. So, these things need to be pointed directly at your partner. Even a single foot pointed outwards when speaking to someone indicates that you're looking to leave the interaction as soon as possible, and that you're not being genuine in your intentions. So as a final point, just be aware of which way you're kind of leaning. Depending on the power dynamic in the relationship, you'll want to either be leaning away or towards the person you're speaking with. Considering my audience is 93% male, I'm going to say that generally you should be leaning back and relax. Let your partner lean forward if they can't hear you. Assuming you've pulled off everything so far, your conversation partner will very likely see you as interesting, unique, and trustworthy, as well as high value just due to the aforementioned traits you possess. You boss. As a general rule, this establishing of rapport will work on just about anybody, and will actually make them far more comfortable than if you were to slowly escalate with small talk topics. Additionally, this is going to be a hell of a lot more fun for both of you. As a quick final point, just remember to have fun and let your thoughts and feelings flow independently. Counterintuitively, your not caring what they think about your passions will be what makes you so interesting and irresistible. If this content interested you, then go ahead and communicate with me in the comments or by sending me a message. I have a few more videos I'll be making soon, so subscribe if you'd like to be notified when I put out a new shitpost. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this content did something for you. If it didn't, make sure to thumbs down and also talk mad shit in the comments.